Welcome to Axiom Answers. My name is Dr. Eric Shoemake. I have a great video for you today on how to change out some of the things that you're eating that are messing your diet up when it comes to your sweet tooth. So, sweet tooth swaps is what we're calling this. So, how you can actually lick the sugar habit. I'm like anybody else. I like sweet things. I love chocolate. That's one of my favorite things, but I don't allow that to derail me when it comes to my nutrition and what I know is going to be good for me and good for my future. I want to get into today something that happened to me yesterday. I was in King Supers and I found something I wanted to show you guys, which is this keto ice cream. I'm going to talk about a little bit more here in a minute. But first, I want to talk about why sugar is such a problem for people, especially I think in the United States. So, the big thing to understand is sugar is not a food, it's a drug. The effects that it has on you is very similar to heroin. It literally binds to your opioid receptors. That's why it feels so good to eat sweet foods. The average American consumes 160 pounds of sugar per year. So if we just talk about what is a safe level of sugar, if you don't have any diseases and you just want to stay healthy, then I say but below 30 grams of sugar a day, 30 or less is what you should be. Now, if you have any type of high blood pressure, high cholesterol, autoimmune disorder, high triglycerides, anything like that, that's too high. 30 is too high. So what I recommend for if that's you, stop this video right now and go watch the Axiom Advanced plan, which is also on our Axiom Answers YouTube page, and do that for as long as it takes for you to cure or heal whatever disease you're dealing with until your blood pressure comes down, your diabetes goes away, type 2 diabetes, your blood sugar gets back to normal, your cholesterol gets back to normal. If you do the advanced plan, that's what we see happen in 99% of people because you basically have to fix what we've messed up over the last 10, 15, 20, 30 years for some of us. But what I'm talking about today is how you move forward with this. So for me, I eat pretty similar to the advanced plan, which is kind of paleo. So it's no grain, no sugar. That's pretty much what I eat. But then I have three vacation meals per week. So that's one thing that allows me to not, lose my mind. I'm like, okay, I know I can still have pizza. I can have cheesecake if I want to. I can do, those things, but I'm going to do those at planned vacation meals. So the way I look at it is if I eat 5 times a day, breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, that's 35 times a week. If I take three of those 35, I'm still eating well 90% of the time, right? So that's the way I look at it. But I don't want to wreck my vacation meal with something that's not good. So I really think about that. And I'm like, okay, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it right. And then I have my vacation meal. Say I have pizza and cheesecake on a Friday night. Then I'm right back on Saturday. I'm going to go back to my eggs and black beans for breakfast or my smoothie or whatever. I don't just go off the rails. So that vacation meal really helps me. So it's a little tip for you. But what do you do in the meantime when you want something that's sweet and it's not a vacation meal for you? So, a couple easy swaps for you here. I just wanted to go through. So, at the beginning, instead of using sugar, here's my go-to, which is going to be Lakanto monk fruit. Okay, so you can make cookies with this instead of sugar. You can put this in your coffee. You can do whatever you want with this, and it tastes like sugar. It doesn't have any negative blood sugar effects. Sugar is so bad for you because it causes inflammation. It causes that opioid type reaction that we talked about. But the biggest thing is it causes inflammation, causes obesity, raises your insulin levels, bad for your brain, just bad long term. But Lakanto, this monk fruit is actually great for you. So if you're going to use a sweetener, use monk fruit. Number two, this is a good brand called Smart Sweets right here. So these are red twists. So this is kind of like red vines. They don't have artificial colors in there either, which is good. But there's only 2 grams of sugar up here, rather than if you're eating, normal candy, that's going to be 12, 15, 20, 30 grams of sugar. Another really good brand that I use is called Lily's. So I eat these on a pretty regular basis. So Lily's chocolate bars. I right now I've been on the sea salt dark chocolate, and I'll just eat like a fifth of this. So like, I'll break it off at the top. It comes in squares. I'll eat that when I have a sweet tooth. Now you see it has no sugar added. It's actually sweetened with stevia. So it's like 1 gram of sugar versus eating again a Hershey's bar or some type of chocolate bar is going to be 20 or 30 grams. And then Lily's also makes these dark chocolate covered caramels, which I love. They're kind of like milk duds. And again, stevia sweetened, less than 1 gram of sugar. So you're not getting artificial sweetener. So it's something to be really careful of when you're choosing sugar substitutes. You don't want artificial sweeteners like aspartame and those things, aspartame, stevia, none of, or not stevia, I'm sorry, Splenda, sucralose. You don't want those. So aspartame, sucralose, no good. Those are brain poisons. Stevia and monk fruit, not brain poison. So these are good alternatives that you can do. But what I really wanted to get to this video on was the difference between ice creams. So I was in King Soopers. I was buying something for dinner that we were going to make dinner last night. I needed an ingredient, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll make this a vacation night. Maybe I'll grab some ice cream. So I go over and I look at the Haagen-Dazs, and first thing I looked at was the sugar. So if you look at the amount of sugar that's in Haagen-Dazs, you're going to see, I'll circle it for you right here, 34 grams of sugar. Again, we should get no more than 30 in a day. Now, if you had a Coke already today, you've already gotten 35 grams, plus everything else that you've gotten, and then you're eating this Haagen-Dazs on top of it. Now, this is for one serving, which is a third of this pint. A lot of people eat the whole pint, which means you're going to almost triple the amount of sugar that's in it. So it's almost 100 grams of sugar. So I looked at that and I'm like, all right, do I really want that? And I'm like, no, what do I want? I want ice cream, but I don't want all that sugar. So I started looking around and I found this one. And this is keto. So I'm going to make this bigger here. So I'll stop the share for a second. Okay, so it's this one. So it's zero sugar added. It's called Keto Pint right here. And when you look at, I'll show you the ingredients here in a minute. So the ingredients are real cocoa, real cream, zero added sugar, less than 5 grams of net carbs. There is 1 gram of sugar in here. So 1 gram of sugar. And when I'm actually reading it, the ingredients are cream, water, allulose is the sweetener, and allulose is fine. Usually comes in a syrup. They're starting to use that more in foods now. Allulose is a lot like monk fruit. It's just not quite as sweet. So allulose is the main sweetener in here. It also has monk fruit and stevia, which it says at the end there. Real chocolate, egg yolks, almond flour, olive oil, cocoa powder, sea salt. Yes. So everything in here is actually healthy for you. So I had a third of this pint and I got 1 gram of sugar rather than 34 grams of sugar. So what it did to my physiology, I didn't wake up feeling all groggy. My blood sugar didn't spike at night, which messes up your sleep. If you're drinking or if you're eating sugar at night, this is messing up your sleep because your blood sugar spikes and then drops, and that causes a lot of people to wake up in the middle of the night. So my blood sugar was much more stable. Like a lot of times in the evening, I'll do strawberries, and I love strawberries and chocolate. So I'll take Lily's chocolate chips that are again sweetened with stevia, melt those, dip strawberries in there, and again, that's stabilizing my blood sugar. So those are some simple things that you can do to start making these swaps when it comes to your sweet tooth. So I do recommend this brand. I don't know anything about it other than what I had yesterday. So this is the Keto. It's called Keto Pint, I believe. And the other cool thing about this, it was 50 cents cheaper than the Haagen-Dazs. So a lot of people say I can't eat that because it's too expensive or whatever. So one thing I'll say to that is that if you think health is expensive, try disease. Because if you continue to eat the junky food that's cheap, you end up in the nursing home. That's $100,000 a year. That's expensive, not $2 extra for a pint of ice cream. So, but the cool thing about this is this was actually cheaper than the Haagen-Dazs. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. So check out those brands. There's lots more out there. They're starting to make a lot better choices. There's people with a lot better choices, brands with a lot better choices than there used to be. But those are some of my go-tos for your sweet tooth. So if you want some ice cream, I recommend giving this a shot and let me know how it goes. There's always links in this. I want you to share these. The reason we created this page is share these with anybody else that you know that needs help. I'm trying to do little short, quick hitting videos on what can really transform people's health. So share these with the people that you know and love, and we'll see you next time.